All right, is this thing on?
Powered by
Hey everyone,
Riverside
and
FM.
welcome to the very first episode of The Shift Show. I'm Kayla, your host, and whether you're clocking in, clocking out, or simply no longer working retail, just know this podcast has something for you. We'll laugh, we'll cry, and we'll all reminisce on working the trenches of retail. Now, before we truly get into our first episode, just a little backstory about me. Like I said, my name's Kayla. I currently hold a master's degree in kinesiology from Cal State Long Beach. Go Beach. I am also a retail manager as of July of last year. I have worked retail for almost 5 years now, give or take. It's felt like 50 because of the way these people yell at me and the way my back hurts, but for almost 5 years now. And don't get me wrong, I have a master's degree. However, the job market is garbage, and I really do like my management position. So they might still see me for the next year or two. I won't hold you. However, going into retail was not the big picture that I was seeing. I needed a job during the pandemic while I was in undergrad, but still at home because I got sent home from school. And the retail manager in me was born. Now sit back, relax, because boy, oh boy, do we have things to discuss today. Now, at first, my first episode was going to be about a day in the life of a retail manager, going into how every day isn't the same. However, we'll talk about that later. I was discussing with one of my peers at work at some point last week about retail myths versus our reality, how people who don't work retail, have never worked retail, or worked retail so long ago that they barely had devices to use at their damn store, how things that they think are never ever the truth. It kind of goes into that whole the customer is always right, because let me tell you, them motherfuckers is never right, okay? And I felt compelled, empowered, if you will, to do the very first episode on retail myths versus reality. Like I said, buckle up, because baby, I got a whole bunch sitting off the dome. Oh my God. Better go crazy. Starting off strong. Retail myth number one, retail is easy. Baby, if I could go find a new job right now, I probably would. And like I said earlier, I do like my job. However, the emotional labor sometimes ain't worth it. So, like I said, I'm a new manager. It's been less than a year, but I'm not really new, but it's been less than a year. Before then, I was just a regular employee from November of 2020 until July of 2020. Of 2024, I was just a regular employee, and I took 6 or so months off because I had to go back to school, graduated then, etc. So for about, let's just say continuous time, 3 years, I was a regular employee. The mental suffering I did at that goddamn store was unbelievable. I had people shit in the middle of the aisle at the store I work at. I don't work at that store anymore. I got promoted, and I'm a manager at a different store, which doesn't have nearly the same amount of crazies that walk into that one. But bro, I used to see people shitting in buckets. People shot at us. They were BB guns, but still, the door was broke. We had lit trash cans thrown at our door. Retail was never easy. I just kind of, I was like, well, I need a job, so. And people love to be get a new job, knowing damn well we in a recession and ain't nobody can hire it. I got to get in where I fit in, and I clearly fit in where I work. I'm just saying. This next myth, idea of thinking, however you would like to phrase it, is low-key my favorite because, one, I'm insane, and I just fucking do it then. However, next one, anyone can do retail. Let me tell you something. The things I tell, my family, my mom, my sister, whoever, friends, all of them, who worked retail, but it's been quite a while, I kind of use time as, pandemic, pre-pandemic, but, and then post-pandemic. I started working retail, like, not like post-pandemic because we were still in one, and we're, like, COVID isn't gone, but it's not, you know, it ain't like it was in 2020, 2021. The people I know worked retail pre-pandemic. The people I work with, obviously, have been working retail pre and post-pandemic. There has been a large shift in things. I tell my family things, and I know that they cannot do retail, okay? My family works like 9-to-5 jobs. They sit in their little office cubicles, and I'm not saying anybody's job is easy by any means. However, let's just say if you have worked retail post-pandemic, an office job is to walk in a goddamn park. But if you have not, you ain't having no job, babe. Especially if you work for, like, the state, you can get away with so many things working for, like, the government. Like, and I'm not saying that, like, you know, like, there's not, like, a lot. However, you can talk to people crazy. Like, the job my mom does, low-key, she be talking to people crazy. I blink wrong at somebody, and now they talking about, where's your manager? Baby, it's me, so what now? However, when I was a regular, like, employee, they'd be like, where's your manager? Bro, for what? Like, what the fuck do you want to talk to her for? No one can do retail at this point. And people are so annoying. Customers are so annoying. They're literally never right. They have it in their heads that, one, we should be able to know the whole store, but knowing damn well that they can't remember where they put their purse last. Fuck are we talking about? I don't know, like I said, there was, like, a shift when working retail. Like, as a consumer, I remember, like, walking into the store I currently work at, you know, foreshadowing or whatever, walking into the store that I currently work at and seeing the employees who, like, at least sort of kind of little bit look like they want to be there. I walk in now to actually clock in. My team hates being there. Like I said, I know people who I currently, like, manage who have been there 17, 18, 19 years, and the things that they tell me, like, there's such a difference, people are awful, people are mean, they want to talk about how our job isn't that hard. The whole time, we ain't got no team. Y'all, I lost 4 employees in a singular week. Me and my peer lost 4 goddamn employees in a singular week. 2 did put in a 2-week notice, but the other 2 didn't. And motherfuckers want to talk about how, oh, it's easy. Do you know you have 30 minutes? Do you know we'll be fighting in the clothing section that I work in? Do you know we'll be fighting in the fitting room? There are no cameras in there. Yeah. Okay, so this is a myth, but also, like, funny story, whatever. You know how when you're shopping, like I said earlier, I work in the clothing department. You know how when you're, like, shopping and you're, like, looking for that medium, that large, but the sales floor only has, like, a small, a medium, an extra large, and a double extra large. You see an employee, you go up and you're like, hey, by any chance, would you have this in the back? Would you have a large in the back? If I scan the item and my system says 0 on the floor, 2 in the back, 9 times out of 10, I will go back there and get it. As a consumer, you know, I'm going in there, I'm looking for what I need, like, whatever. Like, if it says I have it in the back, I will usually go get it. However, depends on how you ask. That's why I said 9 times out of 10. Because you coming up to me talking about the system, the website says you have it. Why can't I find it? Oh, bitch, now I don't have it. Now I don't have anything, actually. You don't get to come up in here and talk to me or talk to my team members like that. No, I don't. Who do you think you are right now? And I'll just be like, oh, I'm sorry. Like, my system says I don't have it. Baby, I will go and unlocate that in the back so fast. Like, please don't try me. I can do anything from that device and go relocate it later. However, when it says, like, when I scan it and that large says 0 on hand, 0 on the back, and then, like, if it says, like, 1 on the floor, I don't have it. Like, a lot of times I will be like, let me just go check the fitting room. Let me go check, like the back where we keep, like, the clothes for them to get put back on the floor. Or let me go check, like, the actual rooms. Like, I will go do that, especially, again, depends on how people ask. Because how you ask me to do anything for you is literally, like, I'm going to reciprocate that energy and what I can give to you. But if it says I don't have it, I don't have it. And people love to be like, can you just go check in the back? No, I'm not walking all the way back there. The store I work at is so goddamn big. From the back room, like where I put all of my back stock for my areas, is 275 steps away. And I know that's not a lot. Like, I know that. However, when you're walking back there every 20, 30 minutes, it adds up. And I go to the gym in the mornings before work. It adds up like crazy. I'm not going to go check because you think I'm lying. Let's say they're asking, like, the areas I owned, like, it's, like, very different from each other. So, like, it's partly, like, men's clothes. It's partly women's clothes. Depending on where I'm standing, I will, like, go, like, walk towards the back. I'm not going to go walk all the way back there. I'll walk towards the back, check on my team member that I have working in the kids' clothing section. I might see, like, one of my peers and, like, chop it up with them for a few seconds. Like, oh, how's it going? How are you? Da-da-da. Like, how's your day going? Whatever. And then I'll come back and be like, I'm sorry, we don't have it. Or, I don't know if y'all remember that meme back in the day. If somebody asks if I have this in the back, I'm going to walk back there, nay, and come right back out because we don't have it. Like I said, that's literally me. You're not going to try to make me do my job because you think that I'm not doing it. Because I am. Like, I know what's back there. We have to do this thing once a month as managers. I have to do this thing once a month where we go through every section in our backroom aisles and, like, make sure that what's in there is correctly in there. I have to do that every fucking month. So I just did it for, like, my, like, sock section that I have. And it takes a while, so I know it's back there because I just did it. Do not come here like, oh, just check in the back. No, if it says we have it on the website, it's probably in someone's cart. I don't care. I don't care that you want it. It doesn't bother me. Like, I need people, especially boomers and later millennials. Actually, Gen X, people. Let's just say people. Because low-key, I feel like the only people to understand that, like, this is my job, I know what I'm doing, are, like, Gen Z and, like later millennials, like closer to Gen Z, like 90s babies, basically, that understand that, like, oh, like, this is my job, I do this every day, I know exactly what I'm doing. I need y'all to get it through your head that this is my job and I know what I'm doing, okay? I worked very hard to get to the position that I'm at, and before this, I was working very hard to get to the position that I'm at. If I say I ain't got it, why is that not enough? Riddle me that. Riddle me the fuck that. Why is that not enough? And I work in a very, like, uppity, I'll use that word. I work in a very uppity, entitled area where people, one, degrade you, but two, think that you don't know what you're doing because of what you look like. You're really not getting shit from me, okay? Yeah. And on that note, I think we're going to take a little break. And we're back. Okay, I just want to segue real quick. Low-key, I don't even know why I said that because knowing damn well I yap too much be talking about, I'm going to segue real quick. Going into what I'm speaking about, I love technology. I love the internet. I'm a social media girl down, okay? However, hashtag stop making TikTok trends in these department stores. Can I create that hashtag and y'all actually use it, please? I can't do this no more. Do y'all remember circa 2016, 2017, people were, like, taking, like, ice cream from grocery stores and licking the top of it? Or do y'all remember when Ariana Grande, like, licked a donut in a donut shop? I don't know if that was, like, actually true or whatever, but, like, I remember seeing that online somewhere on Twitter, on Tumblr, etc., wherever it was at. That's when these awful, hideous, terrible social media trends started, where you would come into stores, grocery stores, department stores, restaurants, etc., and basically act an ass. You're, like, showing your whole entire ass, hole included. Like, y'all come up in there making these employees' lives miserable. And one thing about me, now that I'm a manager, and I'm gonna keep it a bug, I used to lie before I got promoted, and I used to lie and be like, I am the manager. Now, however, why the fuck are you taking, like, chairs, sitting them up, and making a fort? Y'all don't have parents? Y'all don't know no better than that? Child, let me tell y'all this one story because somebody has to know. I was working with my manager. Like, we were, like, doing stuff, pushing items out to the floor. We were, doing our little thing. I have, like, the thing, like the dolly thing that the items are on. I'm like, we're just kind of chit-chatting a little bit. I hadn't seen her in a couple days. We're just chit-chatting a little bit. All of a sudden, we start hearing moaning over the walkie. Oh. I looked at her, she looked at me, and I was like, well, I'm going to go ahead and mind my business because I'm not going to bring it up. Right. We're like, okay, maybe it was a one-off thing. It was, whatever. Mind you, we were having a corporate visit that day. They were in the store at that time. It was like 9:30. They had gotten there at 8:30. Right. So we go on, mind our business. She brought it up again, and I was like, let it go. We're not going to talk about it. If we act like it wasn't there, it wasn't, basically. Hear it again for longer this time. Right? One of my direct peers, gets on the walkie and says, hey guys, I don't know what's going on, but your walkie's on. Please remember that. Right? We're like, okay, whatever, it'll stop. 10 minutes go by, it starts again, and it goes on for longer and louder. And I'm like, I finally had enough. I was like, dude, like, people are coming up to us, hearing our walkies, or, like, people are, like, trying to call somebody else on the walkie. Like, I had some people texting me while we were at work because, like, hey, I can't use the walkie because someone else is on it. So I'm like, yeah, what's going on right now? Come to find out, it's currently a TikTok trend, or I don't know if it's currently, but it used to be like a trend where people would buy walkies or steal them. I don't know, whatever the case may be. Go to certain stores, get on their frequency, and start talking on the walkie. Mind you, people have stolen walkies from us before. Like, stole, like, team members that they've, like, dropped, or they just, like, I don't know how they get them, but they've stolen them before. They've never done this, though. However, they've called out codes. So every department store, every store will have certain codes, and they're usually colors like yellow, red, pink, black, green, etc. Some of them mean missing child, fire, or a medical emergency, or like, I know some places have like shooter. So, like, there's just things that you call out. There will be teenagers calling out these codes over the walkies. Do you know you have 30 minutes? And one thing I hate is, like, management not being able, or feeling like they're not able to say anything. Or, like, my team, too, but, like, I get it when it comes to them. They're like, like, I'm not really, like, management. I'm not nobody, basically, is how they feel. I hate that they feel like that because, like, this is your area. Like, you want it to look, like, good and pristine and all of that good stuff. And you're not telling the people who's actively fucking it up, hey, stop. So we've had, like, usually this kind of stuff happens, like, in the afternoon, like, in the evening time more so. And I'm a girly who, I'm loyal to my 8 to 4. Once I start being in that store past 4:45, I start tweaking out a little bit. And look, let me tell you, once Auntie figures out the whole, like, video recording aspect of this, y'all gonna see the facial expression I just made, because that was insane. But I started tweaking out just a little bit, just like, oh, I can't be in there for that long. Get me in here at 8. And look, as a manager, I have to do closing shifts, like, 3 or 4 times a month, which is really nothing, considering, like, how often I work. Like, I work 5 days a week, sometimes 6. Like, 4 times, fine, whatever, I let it go. But even so, like, I'll do a closing shift, leave that store, get home at, like, freaking midnight, and I will bring my black ass right back up in there at 8 a.m. because I cannot be in there past 4:45 2 days in a row. No. I start tweaking. I start itching. I can't do it, okay? I'm loyal to that 8 to 4. So these type of things usually happen 5, 6, 7 o'clock. Like, once it starts getting dark, aka, like, now it's like 7:30-ish, but, like, during, like, the, like, daylight savings time, or whenever it ends, I don't know how to phrase that. Jesus, remember I said I was going to be segueing? I don't know why I gave y'all a warning, because I should just start talking. When it gets, like, dark outside is when they start showing their ass, because, kids are usually off school by that time. These teenagers are just out and about, and their parents letting them, especially in that uppity neighborhood that I work in. But the porn on the walkie, that was at 9:30. I don't know what happened at society, but we are way, way, way too freaked out. And I hate it so bad, because you're watching porn at 9:30, and here's the thing, we thought it was like an employee. And we're like, couldn't be, because only place they could do this in, and okay, in the mornings, there are a lot more people than there are at night. I don't know that logic. I think it's dumb during the week because more people shop during our peak times don't reflect employee times, like working times in my opinion, but I let it go. I don't make the schedule. But, where was I going with that? Being a yapper is crazy because no way I just forgot my train of thought that fast. I remember it though. There's more employees working in the mornings. So I don't think there would have been an employee like playing porn over the walkie just because there's no place they could have gone to play their phone at the volume they needed to play their phone at, to have it magnify over the walkie that loudly. And at first my manager thought, are they in the bathroom? And I'm like, no, like there's an echo in the bathroom. I was like, girl, when I call you and you're in the restroom and you're like, go ahead, and I'm always like, get with me when you're out the restroom. How do you think I know that? Like, what are you talking about? I'm like, no, girl, like there's a clear echo. Like, I was like, I don't even use my own phone in the restroom that much. Like, I don't even talk on the phone on my phone in the restroom because of how much of an echo there is. Couldn't have been. Why the hell are there freaked out, nasty ass teenagers, or hell, even like people in their like 20s, still in our walkies playing porn? Like, I just feel like that's broken, jobless behavior. And like, note that I said broke and jobless. Keep that in mind, okay? That is a very important thing. However, y'all need, as a society, I really hope we stop being so goddamn freaked out because, bro, I cannot do it anymore. That alone showed me, oh, you niggas is nasty. Y'all need jobs. Like, do you want an application? Because like I said earlier, I lost 14 members in a singular week. I'm hiring, okay? I may work in the clothing department, but we hiring and we pay, and I feel like that's all that should matter. Okay? Shit. Anyways, I feel like I started this as like a segue just to yap about how insane it is working retail and checking for stuff in the back. I don't know, but I hope y'all are having a good time because, baby, I low-key need some more wine, so we'll be right back. So I know we're talking about like myths. I can like barely say that word. Hold on. I know we're talking about myths and things, like things that are not true about working retail. And like I have one. It's on the dome, but I don't know if I can get it out like into the correct words that I need. But we're going to try right now. So a lot of people think, okay, hold on. That like a lot of people, okay, I think I got it. God knows I am a yapper, but we're gonna get this out. A lot of people think that because the store isn't busy, you shouldn't be stressed. Like running around like a chicken with its head cut off. God, that is a phrase I use so often. I have said it minimum like 10 times today alone. And it's like 11 p.m. I don't know. That's been my phrase. And I think it's just because a girly works retail and that's how they be having us sometimes. Like, our management, my manager who's over me, and like some other managers, her manager, they just be having us running around like a chicken with its head cut off. And like, baby, let me just tell you, I literally, like, sidebar. I should have y'all like, I don't know, take a shot, eat an edible every time I like sidebar. However, y'all would be messed up by the time we were done. Anyways, let me just get into it actually. People like love to think that because it happens to not be busy, you should be fine. Wrong. They literally are like, oh, it's not busy. Let's get all this done. Wait a minute. Just because it's not busy at the 1 o'clock hour does not mean that it's not going to be busy at the 2 o'clock hour, please. As a manager, I usually like do my own like sets, like changing up how the store looks essentially. And the corporate, whoever gives us the new sets to do, tells us how long it's going to take. Yeah, some of them be taking upwards of 40 hours for the week. It's like, oh, this should be done. So the retail work week is Sunday to Saturday. The new sets drop on that Sunday, but you can see it upwards of 2 weeks beforehand. So, however, like it officially drops in the system, like, oh, it's due this week on Sunday. And then by Saturday night, if it is not done, it is now late. But like I said, we have 2 weeks to do it. So once you're seeing that, you're like, okay, like I should be able to get this done, right? Wrong. Management pulls me away, like upper management, because I'm management. Upper management pulls you away. They need you to do something else. Some of your team members called off. Like, you just gotta like, oh my God, wait a minute. I have finally gotten in the groove of like doing my job and doing it well. Like, it took us a second. I work with clothing, or I work in clothing now. However, previously I did not work in clothing, but like you can get promoted to like any position as long as you can show like you're capable and you're willing to learn, which is what I was doing, or which is what I did. But like I said, like it was taking me a while to get in the groove of things. I struggled a little bit, especially because I got promoted and then like obviously I had training, but training carried in, like it ended, but we were in like back to school season, and back to school season only means, hey, you're about to get your ass beat for Christmas season. Literally, like we finished back to school season immediately doing Christmas season. What the fuck is going on right now? Say psych right now. So it took me a minute. I didn't like really get into the groove of things until like late January. So from like I had training. So from like late August to like January is when I was like, okay, I feel like very confident in my skills and my abilities now. Finally gotten, to do what I can. I am now 2 weeks ahead of like all of my sets, thankfully. So when I go in on Monday, I will be starting 2 weeks out. It'll be like April 7th. So whatever, April 21st, if I have anything, I'm going to go check in the system if I have anything. And if I do, I'll attempt to start it then. If I don't, hopefully I'll have a good week. I can do all the other like small tasks that I won't be able to do at the end of the month now. So finally got my footing. Took a little second. However, we're in there like swimwear. And let me just say, F the swimwear section. Anyways, it can be stressful. It's not always stressful. Our freight doesn't stop. It doesn't end. It will never end at this point. People are always going to need something, which like is a bonus because I'll always have a job. Like, I'll always have my hours. I'll always be able to pay my bills. But like, can you give a bitch a break? Like, the little can you give a mouse a cookie? Can you give a bitch a break? Like, I'm over here sweating, running up and down the damn the aisles through the store. Like, yeah. And having people think, okay, because how boomers are, and I use boomers because like those are like my most hated group, to be honest. Like, I'm a hater to my core. Those are the ones that I think about when I'm like, oh, I cannot stand that generation, because it's most of them. And if you're a boomer listening, just know you have all of my love. Thank you for the support. Anyways, the boomers are like, oh, you look like you're not doing anything. Do you know you have 30 minutes? Now I'm just going to walk away from you, and I'm not going to feel bad. Anyways, it be them, those type of people, which, like I said, usually boomers. But again, if you're a boomer listening, shout out to you, bestie. They come up just like, it looks like you're not doing anything. You're looking like you have some free time on your hands. You caught me with 3 seconds to breathe. I literally I did one deep inhale one time. And you're like, oh, you looking like you ain't got nothing to do. I'll kill you. What are we talking about right now? Ugh. Okay, I'm going to get into my new, I was going to say my new segment, like the whole podcast is a new. That was funny. We're going to get into the segment called We Listen and We Do Judge. A little trend on TikTok where you're like confessing things that's happened or things that you've done, things that you've seen, whatever. And, we listen and we don't judge. However, over here at the Shift Show, we judge. We judge these MFs that come into our goddamn retail jobs, even our customer service based jobs. acting like showing a whole ass, whole included, we judge them wholeheartedly. I do ask all viewers, send in literally whatever story you can think of, anything that has happened. I don't care if this happened 30 years ago at your retail job. I want to know. I love to judge. Unless you're close to me and you're telling me your secrets. But I love to judge these random insane people. However, I have a story for y'all based on my personal retail experience. So, y'all might need to go refill your wine glasses for this one. So, remember, I actually don't know when I said it. I don't know how long it's been. We just be yapping, to be honest. Like I stated, I currently work in the clothing department. However, I previously didn't. I worked in like the regular, I'm just going to say the regular section. Just for those, just to picture that, just not clothes. This is before I was promoted to a manager. So this was, I want to say November 2023, because I was going to say 2024, but I was a manager by then. So it's been over a year since this happened, but this was November 2023, literally like, I think it was Black Friday. It was either Black Friday, I was about to say Black Saturday, child. Anyways, either Black Friday or the Saturday after Thanksgiving. One of those two, where people should be at home. You know, you just had your big ass meal. And I used to be a closer. And I know that I stated I love my 8 to 4s. And I started, you know, tweaking out a little bit when I'm there past 4:45. But I used to be a closer. I was in grad school. It literally worked better for my schedule for me to be a closer. I opened one day a week. And then I was off Sundays and Tuesdays. And so Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I closed. My best friend, who I met while working retail, we're still best friends. Like, he doesn't work there no more, and I got promoted. So, like, we're, like, beyond there. Like, we're for lifers at this point. My best friend also closed. So, it literally worked out for my life for me to be a closer. Like I said, it was Friday or Saturday. I want to say it was Friday, though, but, like, I don't know. It was a Friday night. We just weren't busy. Or it was a Saturday night after Thanksgiving, we just weren't busy. So, I think it was Friday. And this is how I know it's Friday. We have somebody on site who does, like, property management stuff. They, like, paint the walls. If we're having a leak, they fix the leak. Hopefully. The one that we had at that store, though, I ain't like that bitch. But that's not the point of the story. You know, they just do, like, facilities management, basically. So, that particular day, the person who's over that painted the guest restroom. Like, we had, like, the team member one, they had, like, the customer one. Like, cool, whatever. And because of, the capacity of the store that I worked at, we only had one for the customers and one for the team. The customers could not use the team one and vice versa. Actually, I probably could have used the customer one, but that hoe stank, okay? They used to be doing meth in that one. That's another story for another day, though. Anyways, the customer one was closed. However, in our parking lot was a Starbucks. Less than 100 feet away was a Starbucks. They always let the customers from the store come over to use the restroom because shit happens. Literally. So it was like, I think my shift started at 3. So this was before I took a break. And you're supposed to, like, work 2 hours, take a break, or, like, work 2.5 hours, take a break. So this is before I took my first break. I had a lady come up to me and she's like, open the restroom. Well, hello to you too, bitch. The fuck? I was like, oh, I can't, like, mind you, there's a sign on it. I was like, oh, I can't, like, it's closed right now, I'm so sorry, but there is a Starbucks right across the street, not across the street, across the parking lot that you can go in, like, it's literally less than 100 feet away, like, go in and use there. She's like, I can't wait that long, and I'm like, okay, well, there's not much I can do for you, because the customer one is closed. She's like, y'all don't have one, and I was like, no. Because what the fuck, like, girl, I'm not gonna be like, yeah, we do, but you can't use it. Like, I don't feel the need to say all that. So I was just like, no. I lied, obviously. Mind you, the customer one and the team one was literally, like, right next to each other. It just, like, you'd walk a little bit down the corridor. And then she walked down there, she's like, you guys have a restroom? And I was like, oh, yeah, you meant that one. Like, I'm just lying. Like, girl, I'm literally trying to do my job. Leave me alone. She's like, open that. Who the fuck do you think you are? No, I'm not opening nothing. What the hell? And I was like, I'm sorry, I can't. Like, you're not allowed to use it. It's for team members only, and you're not a team member. And then she was like, why do you guys get to have your own restroom? We're just supposed to suffer. And I'm like, do you have to be here for 8 hours to pay your bills? She didn't like that one. She's like, get the manager. Cool. I went and got the manager who likes me. Well, none of them disliked me, but like I chose the one who I knew would for sure be on my side. Like, you know, like I just feel like that just made the most sense. Like that's what my current team does. Like they like choose me because they're like, you're going to be on our side. Oh, always. The customer's never right in my eyes. Went and got him. I was like, hey, this lady is upset that I won't let her use the employee restroom because the customer one is closed because of whatever the facilities manager lady was doing. He's like, what she said. Well, great. Thanks, bro. Like, like I appreciated him being like, oh, like she said no. The answer is still no. Right? I go back to minding my business. They start arguing. The fuck? Okay, child. Another manager comes out. Oh. Okay. Cool. So I was like, yeah, this ain't looking too good for you, lady. You're not using that restroom. So, like I said, I'm continuing my job. I'm minding my business. I ended up going to the restroom. It was like 5 o'clock-ish. Like I said, I got in at 3. I probably had a Red Bull before I got in. Walked to the restroom, came out. She's recording me as I'm walking out. Oh, this girl says I can't use the restroom, but she gets to. Do you work here? She didn't have an answer for me. And I'm like, you don't work here. Leave me alone. Like, what are you talking about right now? We're kind of going back and forth. And I'm like, okay. So I walk away. I go do a different part of my job because I'm like, I have other things to do. Like, I just don't have to be standing right here while you're bitching at me about not being able to use the restroom. I call my mom. I FaceTime her, right? I'm pissed off. I'm like, girl, this lady yelling at me. Mind you, another lady came up, I guess, to like co-sign on her. They did not know each other. They yelling at, I don't know which manager at this point, but they yelling at somebody talking about we have to use the restroom. We're older ladies. They were probably like in their 60s. I don't know. We have to use the restroom. We're older ladies and you're prohibiting us from doing that. The other lady's on the phone with like, I don't know. I don't want to say corporate because that's not right. Like, corporate's fucking closed. We got to be realistic. Like, we're just a little store. They don't care about us. And I remember hearing on speaker, the lady had him on speaker, like, did the employee say you couldn't use the restroom? The lady's like, yeah. The guy's like, oh, why? And then the lady's like, oh, they said it was closed due to, like, plumbing or whatever. And I actually don't know why it was closed. Painting. I think it was painted. Duh. I think I said that. But it was painted or whatever. The paint's not dry. And the guy's like, well, you can't use it then. And I'm like, oh, hopefully that's all it took. I would be quite annoyed if she's like, oh, why? But like, hopefully that's what it took. Didn't take that. They start recording. I call my mom because I'm like, girl, let me tell you something. FaceTime my mom. And at the store I worked at, not that I was like so good at my job I could do what I want, but like sort of. Like, it was to the, like, I did my job very well. Like, I didn't need 8 hours to do my job. I needed, like, 3. But, like, I wasn't going to start slacking. I still did my shit. I still did my big one because I got promoted, clearly. I got my mom, FaceTimed her. There's, like, no one really, like, shopping for real. Like, they're not really buying much. It's not much to buy. We didn't really have that many good deals. Called her. She popped the phone up. I'm telling her what's going on. She cackling. Y'all know that the TikTok, hang up on you. Not in the mood. Because I was pissed. I'm like, I'm over here getting screamed at. I'm being recorded. You finna see me on Facebook, girl. Because I know this lady only know how to use Facebook. You finna see me on Facebook. Because this lady talking about I'm not letting her pee. Da-da-da. Whatever. Call my mom. She upset me even more. I was like, great. It's about 5:10, 5:15. I'm about to go to break. I was like, you know what? I'm due for a break. I usually wait a little longer. Just so, like, I could, like, literally finish everything that I'm doing. And then when I come back from break, like, basically wrap up. And then after my lunch, I'm like, oh, I'm not really doing much. But, you know, I, like, face out. I make everything look nice, whatever. This time I was like, let me just go to break. Let me just grab my best friend. We'll get, like, I don't know, chips or whatever. And just, like, go to break, whatever. I walk out of the aisle that I'm on, and I see something on the floor. And I'm like, I talked to a different coworker, and I'm like, what is on the floor? And he's like, oh, she peed. Oh! I know you're lying. There's no way. She sat there and argued with me for 20, 30 minutes, argued with a manager for 20, 30 minutes and then pissed on the floor through your jeans. Baby, if you can't hold it that well, go wear a goddamn diaper. You could have been at Starbucks, went to the damn, I don't know, the bank, went to the dispensary right there, and been home by the time you did all this. You did all these goddamn theatrics and you pissing in jeans? You gotta sit in your car in pissy denim? You're bad. And I was like, and this is why I'm going on break. This is why. I went on my 15-minute break, came back, pissed still on the floor. Why the fuck is the pee still? I'm like, great. The area finna smell like piss and pissy denim. What are we doing right now? They cleaned it up. One of the managers just gave her a freaking pair of jeans and diapers from the sales floor. And I was like, why are you doing that? She's like, well, she peed on herself. She's older. That lady ain't nothing but 60, 65 goddamn years old. And if she can't control her, if she got incontinence, she need to go ahead and fix that her damn self. And if she can't, head to the doctor or call your damn daughter. I don't care. Assuming she has kids, that was crazy of me. But, whatever. We know how that generation is. 9 times out of 10, they probably gonna have kids. Yeah. That was a fun day. And, it was, stained. It was, pee stained for a while because I don't know why. The facilities management had left, so they couldn't, deep clean the floor, I guess. So, moral of the story is she pissed in some denim because she was mad at me because I would not open the team restroom for her. She wanted to use the employee restroom so bad, and she could not walk over to the Starbucks that was less than 100 feet away. She decided to hold it until she physically could not anymore. And part of me feels like she could still hold it. She was like, I'm going to just relieve myself right here, right now. I'm going to just piss on myself through these denim jeans in front of these people to show them something. I'm pissing on myself to prove something to you. Now you're just sitting over there embarrassed and getting talked about on my podcast. Hope it was worth it, babes. All right. That's it. That is all for our very first episode of the Shift. Can't even speak myself. Of the Shift Show. I hope you all enjoyed this amazing episode. We are back every Tuesday. I want to say at noon, but I feel like I can upload it at midnight, or I can have it set to upload at midnight. I don't know. Don't quote Auntie on this because I gotta learn how to do some techie stuff myself. However, subscribe. We are on Instagram at The Shift Show Pod. Email us your most egregious, insane stories from whatever customer service, retail job you got. I want to know all the tea. Give me the tea so we can talk about and judge the hell out of them, because I know how y'all feel about that lady and her pissy denim, because who wants to smell that? You got in your car. I'm pretty sure she drove a nicer car, like a Lexus or something. You got in your Lexus smelling like piss and denim? Oh, bitch, you're nasty. I know we all want to hear more stories like that. Email us at theshiftshowpod@gmail.com. Subscribe, leave a comment. We're going to try a video one for next week. We're going to hope for the best. But can't guarantee it because I'll be back in the recording my bonnet, and I don't be wanting y'all to see me in my bonnet. My bright pink bonnet that I bought from the beauty supply store. Anyways, I hope you all have an amazing day, and check back next week for our next episode. Bye!